I'll share my screen and turn off my camera. There we go. All right, so that's us there, School Websites New Zealand. This is our website. If you haven't had a look, you can go and have a look and see there's a few things that you might be interested, like the digital newsletter, and we've got some resources up here. I recorded the first training session we did the other day. That one's here, and I'm going to start adding some more specific training videos to this page as well, so you'll be able to watch these. But today we've got St. Joseph's School in Opunake. I believe that's in Taranaki. Yeah. We've got Crawshaw School. We've got Heather from Crawshaw School. I believe that's in Hamilton. Hamilton. And we've got Karen from Tudor School, Thames Coromandel area, Hauraki Plains. And we got, well, we don't have Karen from Southwest Land Area School, but she might turn up. We'll see how we go. Rightio. So the first thing, well, I'm going to show you through some important things that you need to do at the start of the year. So I'm going to go into the email that I sent out the other day, and we'll just quickly go through that. So this is actually the newsletter platform that we have put into the website here, and I use that to send out this email to everybody. So important. Is your website ready for 2025? So there's a couple of things you want to check. First of all, you want to go through the whole website. Just go through each page and make sure everything's up to date. You know, are the staff up to date? The uniform information, the stationery list, the enrollment information, just everything. You know, maybe it might be time to update some photos. You know, there might be some photos of some kids there that were at the school 5 years ago. Yeah, we need to update and get some fresh ones. Photos really make the website pop. So you don't need to hire a professional photographer either. iPhones and Samsung phones these days are definitely good enough. Test your contact form. So that's a really important one. So I want everyone to do this. Contact forms. Most of you will just have a standard contact form on the contact page, but some of you might have an absentee form, you might have an enrolment form, you might have a form where the parents can update their contact details. So I want you to test all of those forms. So let's do this one now, and I usually just do it like this. This email, when I fill this out, it should send an email to the office. So that was sent successfully, and I want to get a response back from you, Bianca, if you received it or not. So that's the contact form. Oh, she got it. Excellent. Thanks, Bianca. So that one's working. So your job's done there. Yeah, so you have a look through the site. What else we need to have a look at? Yeah, so the stationery and uniform info, the staff, general design check. So some of you have had your website a few years now, and over the years, as you update it, things start to sort of veer away from the initial beautiful design that was created for the website. It just happens over time, you know, as you start updating it, things break and they don't quite fit in how they used to. And just have a bit of a general design check on both your computer and on your mobile phone, just to make sure everything's looking good, so that when parents come to the website, they're able to find everything easy, and yeah, everything just looks nice. So a general check over on the design. Integrations are working, right? So integrations. So we have here an integration with the newsletter. We have a Google Calendar, so there's nothing showing in here. We need to have a look at that. And then this Facebook page is not showing up either. We need to have a look what's going on there. If you're getting similar kind of errors, so most of you have got a Google Calendar, most of you have got a Facebook page, and the newsletters vary Depends what sort of setup you've got there. So that's a PDF one. And yeah, so if those are broken, get in touch with me. So that's something I'll have a look at after this. I'll see what's happening here. If the Google Calendar, if there's nothing showing in there, it might be that there's no events in your actual Google Calendar. So because of this integration, you can update your calendar within Google Calendar, and when you add new events, it should show up on the website. But if you have got events in your Google Calendar and they're not showing on the website, let us know. If you've got a Google Calendar and we haven't set it up to integrate with your website, let us know as well, and we can look to do that. So here's one that's working here. And there must be something wrong with Facebook. Maybe it's just my computer is not allowing Facebook feeds to show. We also integrate with the school app, School Loop. Yeah, and if there's anything else you might think you might be able to integrate with, let us know. We always like to have these shortcut icons at the top, because when you've got existing family members of the school visiting the website, you know, they're generally trying to look for certain things like the learner journeys in Class Dojo or the Facebook page, or they want to read the newsletter. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them to find those. Yeah, compliance checks. So, I mean, I haven't heard directly from the ministry, but I've heard just via other schools saying that it's a requirement now for things like the annual reports, that's the financial reports, and strategic plans and annual plans and all these types of things to be listed on the website. So go through and have a look and make sure you are up to date with your requirements. Let's see, sometimes it's on the Board of Trustees page. Got the school docs policies there. Annual plans, annual reports, strategic plans. So just check on your website, have we got the most up-to-date one showing? All right, so those are the should-dos. And after this training, you might be able to update some of those things yourself. But if you can't, or if you don't have time, or if you just don't want to, just send it to me and I'll be happy to do it for you. That's what we're here for. You guys are there to look after and educate our children. And we're here to keep your website looking good and up to date. So, but some of you do like to get stuck in and do it yourself. So that's why we're doing this training session. So yeah. So if you want to, you definitely can. However, homepage, we tend to say leave the homepage to us, especially these nice big images at the front, and you know, all these sorts of things here. You can update the text. I mean, you can update whatever you want to. It's your website, but you know, the homepage is usually quite customized. It's got all these integrations with it. This one's got the newsletter. This one's got the school app notifications, and all these types of things. Leave it to us, because you know, these images here, they need to be quite a specific size and shape to fit in there. And same with up here. We don't want you uploading huge image files that are going to take ages to load, or if they're the wrong dimensions, they're not going to look good. So if you want to update it yourself, you can, but I'd usually say leave it to us. Everything else is all yours. So the page is made up of a header. So this is the header here that's got the menu and the logo. And then you've got the footer down here, which has got all these bits and pieces as well. So the header and footer are the same on every single page. So they'll flow through every page that you go to. It's going to have the same header and footer. Okay. Same here, header. You've got the body content, and then you've got the footer. So let's have a look at editing a page. So first of all, to edit a page, you need to log in. If you haven't got a login, get in touch and I'll send you one. But you usually just go to the website address /wp-admin. Don't worry, you don't need to write all this down. If you don't have a login, I'll send you all the details for that. But once you log in, it takes you to the dashboard. And it all looks a bit overwhelming with all these menu items and stuff down here, but we actually don't need to be in the dashboard. Now that we're logged in, we can head away, just delete that bit and go back to the website. And you'll see now that we're logged in, there's a toolbar across the top. So that indicates that you are logged in now. But the rest of the website actually looks the same. So let's have a look at one of these pages here. Let's have a look at school lunches. Perhaps you've got a new provider or some new information. We need to update the school lunches page. So we go to edit with Elementor, not edit page. No, this is confusing, but edit with Elementor is where we go to edit the content of this page. And I usually right click and open the link in a new tab. That opens up the editor. There we go. And as you can see, the edit page is exactly the same as the home page. So that's what's really good, is not looking at code or nothing like that. It's all just sort of, it is what it is. So if we hover over here, we can see we can click there to update that image, or we can update the title there, or we can update the content of that page there. All right, so to edit the content, you just click on the content over here and you just change whatever you want to change. And the editor is pretty standard editor, just like editing a Google Doc or a Word doc or something. You just type it in, you can delete it, you can make it bold or underlined, or you can increase the size of the content, all that kind of stuff. It's all pretty standard stuff. No, I'll do that again. So we didn't want that to happen, right? So don't be scared. If you've done something that doesn't work and you don't know how to get value work, a couple of things you can do. Just don't click the publish button. Just exit the page and you'll be back to it. It won't save anything. Or you can go up here, history, and this here is everything that I've done on the website, every click that I did on the website. So I can go back to when the editing started, or I can go back to how it was before. Maybe I liked it when it was there, and then I would publish that. So I'll just go back to editing started. All right, so no changes. Okay, so let's get a bit more tricky. So we want to add some new content here. Perhaps you want to add some images of the food or the menu. And before we do that, we need to know kind of what I call the anatomy of a page. So you've got this section here, this pink bit here. See the pink box that goes all the way around? So that's called a section. And then within the section, you've got these columns. So this is a column here, and there's only one column within this section. And then within the section, within the column, you've got a widget. So this widget is a text widget, and we've only got one widget within this column. So now that you know that when we click here to add a new section, you can choose how many columns you want to have on the page. So let's say we want 2. And then in here, in the columns, you can add your widgets, and you can do that by either clicking the plus button here or the plus button up the top here. Well, I call them widgets, but they're called elements. But yeah, so what might we add in here? We might add a heading. We might add some text. Might add a button. You can see how it's automatically styled it, so the heading is the right size, it's the right color, the text is matches the rest of the site. The button is also using the school's branding, so you don't have to worry about any of that kind of styling and stuff. It all just sort of does it automatically. I'm just reading some of your guys' messages here. School web filters usually stop. Facebook works on personal data, not Wi-Fi. Rightio. Can you have scrolling images so images change every 10 seconds or so? Yeah, so you probably seen that when we were talking about the homepage. So definitely can. So on the homepage, you can have scrolling images, or like a gallery of images. The school does. See, there we go. Crawshaw School's got that. And yeah, send me your images and I'll update that homepage section for you. Rightio, back over here. So we've added header, text, and a button widget. And you can just go and edit these now. So this is my new heading. And then the text, you just edit that as well. And then the button, you can add the link. So it might be a link to your school Facebook page, or it might be a link to Hero or School Docs, or you might even link to the contact page or any other page on your website. If you're linking to one of your pages, you just search for it and it comes up here. There you go. And you can name that button Contact Us. And now it's a Contact Us button that links to the contact page. Over on the other side, the other column, you might add an image. You go choose image. And you either upload an image. You choose an image that's already in the media library. So these are images that are already being used on this school's website. Or you might just drag and drop one in from your computer and just drop it in there. Let's go with this one here. There you go. So now you've added a new section. It's got 2 columns and these widgets inside the columns. And so now you know how the layout of the page works. You can move these around as well. So widgets can move to other columns. Columns can move around within sections, and then sections can move around on the page as well. So you might want that one up there, like that. Or you might not want the button anymore. Right click, delete it. You might not want this whole column anymore. You might just want one column in that section. Delete it. Or you might not like anything, so you just delete the whole section. We'll have a look at a couple of other widgets. So I'm going to add one section with one column. Go to the widgets. So you're mostly probably just going to use these ones here. Header, image, text, button. You can add a video. That's you just paste the YouTube URL there, and your video just shows up there. So no coding, nothing. Just put the YouTube URL in there. Easy as. You might want to put a form, online form. So there you've got your name, email, and you can rename these fields. You can add some new fields in there. You can have a bit of a play around with that. A little bit advanced forms, but feel free to play around. You know now that you can delete it if it doesn't work. And then the other one might be the gallery. So load up a gallery there. Add images. And again, load your images up. So yeah, you just tick the ones that you want to add to the gallery. Now you've got a gallery, and you can style that as well. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. So with all widgets, whether it be the text widget, the header, the images, the buttons, you've always got a content and a style widget. So with the style widget here on the gallery, it gives you some options, like you can put a border around the images, give it a color. See, it's added a border. Border radius gives you that sort of curve around the image like that. So that's a fixed 50 pixel border radius. You can have a hover animation. You can get pretty technical if you really want to. And so have a play around with the styling. Okay, what else we got? Well, let's go have a look at some staff pages. So all right, so every staff page is different layout depending on what you're after, but this one here has got picture, job title, name, and link to an email address, and then it's broken down by what would you call that? Like, yeah, so senior leadership team, and then the whānau groups. And then release teachers and support staff down the bottom. Tutor have got so they got their leadership team up at the top. Looks like too scared to put the photos in. But yeah, feel free to send me the photos and I can load those up for you. These guys have got a list. And then what have we got here? Okay, so that's pretty similar as well. Okay, so let's have a look at this so we can edit this page. Staff profiles. Yeah, so Karen said, can you add a link to an image? So yeah, if you've got an image hosted somewhere else on a Facebook page or something like that, you could certainly put a link to that. And I can show you how to do that. Or if you were talking the other way around, if you want to put an image on the website and when you click that image, it links to somewhere, you can do that as well. And I'll show you how to do that too. Let's have a look now. I'll just quickly do that down the bottom. So the first option was, can you link to an image? So you might do a button or a text editor. Let's do the text editor. Check out this image. You would just select the text and then paste the image URL there. I'll get one here. So we got this photo here. Here's the file URL. This is the link to the image. I'll show you. See, that's just the website address of that image there. So might be moving too quickly here, but so what I've done there is I've created some text and I've linked that image there. The other option was adding an image. And then linking that image to website address. So now when you click on that image, it'll open up Facebook. So hopefully that answers that question. The staff setup here. So now you know how sections, columns, and widgets work. You know that we've got a section here that goes all the way around here. You've got, and it's got 5 columns there, and inside each column you've got an image and some text. So now you know that you can go, let's say Stuart's now the principal, so you can move him over there. Now, actually the way you do it would be you'd move the whole column, switch it around and just change his details there. But Robin wouldn't be too happy about that if I did that, so let's leave that. If maybe Stuart's not there anymore, so you either delete his whole column, so it will get rid of that, because if you just delete the photo, then it goes like that. We'll delete the column, and it sort of does it like that. But the better way would probably be maybe he's being replaced by someone, so you'll just click there, choose the image, and upload the image of the new person, and add their name and their email address would go in there like that. Or perhaps Vicky's now the only deputy principal, so she goes over there. Oh, no, not there. And then maybe Stuart's been replaced and someone's the team 3 leader or something like that. So you can see, you can just have a play around with that. You can even move the columns within groups. So maybe Lynn is now in whānau 2, so you just drag her whole column and drag her down to whānau 2. If you want to add a new person, and the easiest way to add a new person completely, so perhaps all these people are staying, but you need to add a new one. So the way to do that would be to duplicate there, because then it just, instead of, if you just add a new one here, you've got to, you know, drag in your image, drag in the text, and you know, you've got to kind of style it all. So it's better to just duplicate an existing column, and it copies everything. And then you just have to change the name of the photo and the name and all that kind of stuff. But now you've got 5 columns here and you've got 4 columns here. So we can just right click, delete. All right. So let's reverse that out. All right, so it is a bit technical again. Feel free to give it a go, but if you get stuck, just send me an email. We do these all day, every day. We can do it really quickly, so you guys can get on and do stuff that's more important. And then you just publish when you're finished. What else? Is there any, just before I move on, is there anything specific that you'd like to know? You can ask in the chat there. We'll do some PDFs. So, okay. So Karen's asked how to change the fonts, and I'll show you how to do that. But yeah, we can do that now. But we'll go. So PDF. So you know, schools have a lot of PDF documents. It could be the board minutes. It could be the newsletter. It could be the strategic plan, the financial reports, all those kinds of things. So there's a few different ways to add them. The best way might be to add a text editor. Get rid of the text. Add media, and then you load the PDF into the media library here, and then you can insert it onto the post there. See how the name's not great, so we'll do that again. Add media, select, can just change the title here. So let's call it Signed Financials. See how you can just insert it onto the page like that. Perhaps you'll bullet point it. And then when you've got next year's ones, you can then go like that. And you add the next ones in like that. And it becomes a list of PDFs that people can click to access. Another way to do that PDFs is an icon list. All right, so icon list here, we've got 3 list items. You can just delete these 2 and call it Financial Statements 2023. And then see here, it's got a link. You paste the link in there to the PDF document. But how do we get that link? There's a bit of a workaround. It's a bit of a silly one. You have to go to that text widget so that we've got this add media option over here. Click on the financial statements and copy the URL. So this is the link to the document. I showed you before how to get the link to the image. Same thing. Click back in here, paste it in, and now you've got that. And then next year you can go there, back into the text editor, add media, get the next report. Oh. What happened there? Paste that in there like that. So that's how you can, a couple of ways of adding PDFs. So Karen asks, how do we change the fonts? Well, if you're not happy with the overall fonts that the website's using in general, you'll need to talk to us about that, because there is the global fonts that we've set up, so that every time you add some new headings and texts, it'll just use those fonts. But if you're just talking about changing one particular font on the page, or just styling up something a little bit differently, you go to Style, and then Typography. You got the color here. So these are the colors that this school uses, blue and black, because it's from their logo. But you can also click on here and just choose any color you like. So it changes the text there. But yeah, these are the global colors. So if you want those changed, I need to do that. And then the typography as well. So if you want, so we've got the global fonts, like this is the primary heading size and font, secondary text, links. But then again, you can customize each particular text box by choosing your fonts here and changing the size and the weight and all these types of things here. So that's editing it individually. But yeah, if you're wanting overall fonts changed, this is how you do it. I'll show you how to do it, but probably best to leave this alone. Global fonts, global colors. You can choose here. See this, the primary font is called Outfit and it's size 56. The text one is Poppins, size 16. So we could change those. And then same with the colors. So all the headings going to be black, or this sort of darker color, darker blue. Text is going to be the same. Links are going to be this this blue color here. But yeah, leave that to us, guys, unless you just want to edit individual fonts. So you can just do that and clicking Style. All right. So I think that pretty much covers most of the basics. So yeah, feel free to give it a go. Get stuck, get in touch. Couple of things. Oh yeah, so we're doing online enrollment forms. So a lot of you might still have the old PDF enrollment form where parents got to print it out, or they come to the office and collect it, fill it out, bring it back in with their birth certificates or passports, so stuff like that. Well, if you want a online enrollment form, we can replicate the PDF version of it. So this one we just did last week for Howick Primary School. There is an extra cost for this. It is $180 for us to create the online enrollment form because it is quite time consuming to make these. But yeah, so the idea is that you have this on your website, you have it linked to the enrollment page, so you can just send parents to the website to enroll. They fill it out. They can upload, where are we? Oh yeah, so they can upload their documents here. They can do it from their phone as well. Upload the immunization certificate, all this stuff here, and they can even sign it online as well and submit. And that would send an email to your office or whoever deals with enrollments at your school. And plus, it's also saved into a database so you can access it. Then it doesn't sync with your student management system, unfortunately, but it would be a bit easier to then be able to copy and paste the information into your student management system enrollment program. So there's that one, the newsletter. So I showed you the digital newsletter. Oh, here's another example here from Huapai District School. Here's their newsletter here. So we created this newsletter template, and they then just have to copy all their content into the template. Got buttons, images. You can put all sorts of things in a digital newsletter. And the benefit with this is you can send it out via email to your list of parents. It will automatically post to your website. You can post it to Facebook, School App, School Loop, Hero, ETAP, And is that it? Email? Yeah, so pretty much any digital platform, Seesaw, any of those platforms that you're using, the newsletter can be shown there. It's not great for printing, so if you still have heaps of parents that prefer a printed version of the newsletter, I probably wouldn't recommend it, but if you're trying to get away from paper, this is definitely the way to go. Last thing, design upgrade. Yeah, so if you have had your website with us for a while, I think these ones will look all right, but if you feel like you need a bit of a refresh, we do do basic updates and stuff at no cost. But if you're looking for a complete overhaul, then there would be a cost for that. It's not, it's in the hundreds of dollars instead of in the thousands, so it's a lot cheaper than starting from scratch. Plus, we've already got all your content and everything